Andreas here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the new album from Grain of Pain, The Moon Lights the Way. This is a solo project by Timo Salonen, since he writes everything, but he has some great guest musicians from some of my favorite bands out of Finland, like this one here, Before the Dawn. He's got Lars Eikind out of Before the Dawn. I just want to show you the cool logo on the back since I actually have it tattooed there, but also has Juho Raha, from Before the Dawn, and he does, I believe he still is doing work with Before the Dawn, as well as did some live guitars with Guelphite, which I actually happened to meet him when they toured here in Canada, and I got to meet him, Juho, and Tomas. Here's a picture of that. Yeah, so that was a really cool night meeting Juho and Tomas, but Juho is also in Swallow the Sun, which is also is connected to the drummer on this album, Juuso Raatikainen, who drums for Swallow the Sun. So you have some great musicians on this project, and you can really tell it really shows up on this album, and you really get to feel quite a bit of it right off the bat with Beneath here. Now Beneath I thought was really important because this really showcases what this album is going to be delivering atmospherically, emotionally, tempo wise, and instrumentally and things like that. It really feels like the dark atmosphere that you get, which is kind of like Today, and then I got my Artificial Moon Lighting the Way, which really goes kind of hand in hand with this album and its theme throughout. But Beneath reveals its sorrowful atmosphere in a plethora of ways, with shrill intro notes that screams sadness, bleak potent riffs, and gloomy harsh vocals. But I really thought what I called Lars Eikind's chilling epitaph for this track, and those lyrics in itself are just haunting and painfully direct. And I really like the sort of chilling feel, and Lars really accentuates that with his vocals, that's delivering the lyrics here. And it's only tremendously enhanced by the sinister lead as well. So it's a great intro track. It really delivers a lot of what you're going to feel from this. And for more of a melodic doom feel, I feel like sometimes it's hard to grab the listener right off the bat, but this one has a lot to seduce the listener with its lead work that is mesmerizing. Lars's vocals are hypnotic. The atmosphere, there's just a lot to really absorb in this track, and I think it is really good for the listener. And then it's followed up by Sun for Thee, which is a bit faster, a bit more intense, I think, at times. I just thought it was an interesting sort of way for the album to go, because Sun for Thee, just the energy and intensity you get behind it, and that song's beneath, well, it actually is Beneath on the song, but it's sandwiched between Beneath and the title track, The Moon Lights the Way, which are two kind of different types of songs, but all the atmosphere really goes together. But the Moon Lights the Way, the title track, is my must listen to, and it is for a very gargantuan reason, because it created these visuals in my head and really got me writing, metaphorically and writing. I could have written a short story just on this song alone, because this is what sort of it projected or conveyed to me, and then I just started going with my thoughts. But let's dive into my must listen to, The Moon Lights the Way. It just paints a lonely soul bathed in moonlight on a cold shore, being called by a dark siren song to embrace the murky waters below. And I felt like Lars lured me into this cold lake with a mix of his soft, tranquil call and the subtle, agonizing cry of lost souls sort of in the distance that you couldn't see. I felt like the riffs are like a strong specter trying to consume you as you're, out in the darkness, out in the water. And as the song grows, the guitars and drums grow as well along with it. The speed and intensity tries to kind of swallow you up. Ultimately, the dark pulls you into these anguished souls, and the anguished guitar, I guess, solo, the guitar solo, I felt like was an anguished soul, and the notes just scream like the last breath before disappearing below the surface. That's kind of what resonated with me. And then at the end of it all, Lars sort of serenades you with his being the last glimmer of moonlight that you see as you sink below the surface. That's what I absorbed from The Moon Lights the Way on this one. So really interesting song there. Hope you guys check that one out big time. Moving on, the one thing I felt in this next track, As Suffering Ends, is how it arrived after the dark solace of death from The Moon Lights the Way. I kind of thought this was important because of how much I got from The Moon Lights the Way and the direction of what was going to happen after this song, because it kind of felt like that's a closure piece for the second half of the album, or the first half of the album. But this, I felt like, kind of closes it off and segues into the next section of the album with its doomy, miserable mood. It really closed the chapter on the first half, and elements of it really applied to both songs, The Moon Lights the Way and then this next one, which we trek into the woods even deeper, The Witch. This one I felt is ominously brilliant. The beat and the rhythm is very seductive, I thought, with the hum of the acoustic guitar stalking like red devil eyes in the woods, and the female vocals create this trance that lures the listener into her sinister den. Extremely mesmerizing. I really like what this song brings into the album. Really unique stuff here, and like I said, it almost has like a warmth to it, the way it kind of lures, almost like around a campfire. That's where you see the witch. But I thought, like, I really liked the differing energies and how the song sort of grew along and brought in a whole new element and worked with the album really well. But yeah, these two songs kind of go hand in hand, even though they're kind of bridge the album together. This next song we're talking about is Can't Be Fallen. I actually still hear those words, can't be fallen. That melody is still ringing in my head. Even just saying it right now, I can hear it. But I felt ensconced by this torment of evil. The lead is beautiful, but also quite chilling, and the varying rhythms truly cause this melody to grow throughout and adds to the atmosphere, along with the turmoil between the harsh and clean vocals. I felt Can't Be Fallen's emotions only deepen and hit more passionately, from everybody, enhancing one another and amplifying. I always think that's great when, a rhythm can change and enhance the lead melody or enhance the vocals or vice versa. And I really like what the drums do. Obviously, drums can do quite a bit, and they do quite a bit. Juuso Raatikainen's drum work on Can't Be Fallen does quite a bit for this track, but it also does quite a bit for a bonus track that I do want to talk about before I end this video, is The Path. Juuso's his drums, they added to the intensity and uncertainty and panic to what a journey on a lonely path can kind of unleash and instill in us when we're out there in the dark on in the forest on a path, maybe even any path. But anyways, that's not the point. The time signatures and fills cause certain emotions to rise perfectly with the mood of the guitars, and I also enjoyed how well Lars Eikein's vocals and the rhythms, guitars meshed, enhancing each other, and I also felt them create a picturesque scene along with the vocals, very similarly to what the title track, The Moon Lights the Way, did for me. But really cool bonus track, The Path, as well as Black Dust. Those are on their Bandcamp, so if you want to check those out, go to the Bandcamp digitally. You can check out those pair of bonus tracks. Hopefully I enticed you, encouraged you to do that, as well as of all the links for the Grain of Pain and these songs, especially the must listen, will be in the description below for you guys to check out. And they also have some really cool lyric videos that kind of really go with the theme of what Grain of Pain did here. So really cool album, The Moon Lights the Way. 100% originality I felt, and they dared to do some new things in songs, whether it was a little bit of musically or directions and things like that, like in The Witch. I thought that was really fresh. Feel free to check out Grain of Pain, links in the description below. Awesome tracks. Hope you guys check out The Moon Lights the Way. That must listen to, absolutely killer. And until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?